What's up, guys and geeks?
Hey!
Welcome back to the Geek Critique Show. We got another 360-degree vlog. If you didn't understand by the directions I just showed you, you should be watching this on your YouTube app if you're on your phone, or if you're on a computer, a desktop site, the actual YouTube desktop site rather, not an embedded site or anything like that. So, without further ado, we want to do a Doctor Strange review.
We watched it last night.
It was fun.
It was very fun.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
We went to the local Alamo Draft House and grabbed a few brews and just enjoyed an extremely fun movie.
Yeah, we really liked it. We really can just say, like, you guys should definitely check it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
As much as some people were saying, like, oh, the plot is so similar to so many Marvel films and stuff, which I can get, like, I get that.
Right.
But it's very unique, and it has so many different unique aspects to it that I don't think it will have. It feels different. It does feel different. Even the fighting style feels different. The enemy feels different.
Really, everything you can think of feels a lot different from everything that's come before, especially in Marvel.
Yeah, like when you say that it's just like the other Marvel films, you're just basically breaking it down to its most simple form.
Right. If you break down you remove the character names, you remove the places, and you say, okay, this character reaches rock bottom, and then through self-discovery, he learns more about himself and becomes the hero of the day and learns to better not only himself but the world around him. That's basically the plot of Iron Man and several other Marvel films. But, there's so much to add on top of that with this film. And I think it does stand on its own 2 feet.
Yeah, it definitely does. So should we enter spoiler territory? Or?
Well, before we enter spoiler territory, which we will do in a little bit, let's talk about Benedict Cumberbatch a little bit and some of the actors.
So Benedict Cumberbatch, his Doctor Strange is a little bit different from the Doctor Strange that we get in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like his personality. You know, comparable to Tony Stark in the sense that he's kind of like a chauvinistic butthole at first, gone, and then his heart softens, which is obvious, because that's what happens in movies
Mm-hmm.
when someone's a butthole at the beginning. So that's not a spoiler. But, I think he's really compelling and really interesting. I would like to know a little bit more about him.
I'm surprised this is the first we're seeing of Doctor Strange thus far into the MCU, because for all intents and purposes, he's a more popular character than some of the others that have been introduced so far.
Which I can totally see, because his powers are incredible.
He's so cool.
I mean, he's obviously kind of, Top Gun there,
Yeah, which kind of, his powers are so incredible and, like, mind-melting that I don't know, I'm personally, like, very, almost worried for the fates of the other Avengers, at least in, like, terms of coolness and how they're going to play out right next to each other,
Yeah, I really don't know.
How is Captain America's shield throwing going to stand with, Stephen Strange's mystic arts right beside him,
Maybe it'll be like they're all, fighting, and then he just comes in at the very end and just, like, steals the show for a little.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know how they're going to do it.
I really don't think so, because Thanos is such a mystic, he's an alien threat to the universe, but because he's in search of the Infinity Stones, and his Eye of Agamotto is one of those Infinity Stones. I think he's going to be directly intertwined with that plot. So I think he's going to be there from the start, and he's going to actually call in the Avengers.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool.
I wanted to talk about Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of the reviews that I saw, prior to seeing the film, said like, oh, Rachel McAdams could have been utilized more. That's like, what a fantastic actress. They could have used her more. Dakota does agree with that.
I was actually thinking that during the film. Like, okay, we haven't seen Rachel McAdams in 30, 40 minutes now. Was she just there to play the role of the abused girlfriend?
I mean, I don't really know what else she could have done. Like, she's a physician, so because people were saying that, but I was thinking about the film, and I genuinely don't know where else she could have fit, unless she went with Doctor Strange to the temple, which that wouldn't really work, because it's not like they were actually dating. Like, their relationship was still like, I actually like their, like, not like how much of it moron Stephen Strange was to her, but their relationship is very different from what we typically see in Marvel films, and I really like her character. She's extremely strong, reliable, independent, sassy.
I'll give her that. She's reliable.
Yeah, and she's not like your typical.
In the face of.
I get what everyone's saying, because we all love Rachel McAdams and we want her. We really want to see her. Like, she's the actress that everybody wants to see in screen time, because she can totally handle that. But I don't think that her character was weak by any means. I thought she was a very interesting character, and I really don't see where else she could have fit. I don't. Yeah. Like, I actually thought it through. I'm like, she fit where she could. So that's just my opinion.
So yeah, the effects were good. The fights were literally amazing. Every single one topped the next, and that's really saying something, because it starts off with a bang. Literally.
Yeah, it's true. The first scene, I was like,
yeah, you're just like, wow, I'm in for a treat.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They really set you up, almost for disaster, because they set it up so well, but then they deliver again and again, and that was so cool.
Yeah, that's true.
The effects, although they were amazing during fight scenes, there were several times you could tell they, skipped out on putting too much money into this scene or that scene, namely the car crash scene that you saw in the trailers. I noticed that felt extremely overlooked. I don't know if that was super last minute. Also, if anyone knows the area around New York and can tell me,
this was like a joke.
If you could tell me what road Stephen Strange took to get to that cliffside and then fell right back into the harbor,
I'd love to go and visit. I mean,
yeah.
I genuinely have no idea where he was driving, and we've lived in the tri-state area. I've lived here my whole life, and Dakota's lived here for quite some time.
Yeah.
Nothing looks anything like that here. I think even if you drove 3 hours to upstate New York, you probably wouldn't find a cliff that you're driving on just like that. Even the rocks don't look like that here.
No.
Nothing looks like that.
I was thinking maybe California, but there would be a lot more trees. So I don't know.
Yeah, where was that? If anyone knows,
I know they were filming. They
really
filmed most of it in London, so it's probably.
Oh yeah, then that's probably somewhere around there. Then he fell just right next to one of the bridges.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Anyway, let's get into some of the spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film, do stop here and come back after. Yeah, we don't have too much to say in the way of spoilers.
Yeah, it's just more of we don't want to, ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet.
Actually, now that I think about it, I just said the Eye of Agamotto was an Infinity Stone in the non-spoiler section. So I apologize.
What the heck?
Dakota? I did. I don't know.
Can you edit that out or something?
We'll see. Maybe not. This might
you
have
need
to
to
roll.
put a little like
Yeah.
sign or something saying, "Oh, you suck."
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that though, so I suck too.
Yeah, I was like, that's a spoiler, and I realized I just mentioned it in the previous discussion. I suck. So, anyway, what else can we talk about? Caecilius, what did you think of him?
That's another thing that I was thinking, and I didn't want to say that in like the non-spoiler territory. We really don't see that much of him, and Mads Mikkelsen is a fantastic actor.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone who's saying about Rachel McAdams, oh, she didn't get enough screen time, I would have liked to see more of him. He was kind of just like this menacing thing with his weird eyes coming around. Like, he seemed like a really interesting character.
So for everyone,
got any dialogue.
For everyone who may have forgotten or whatever, Caecilius was one of the Ancient One's pupils. He realized that the Ancient One was receiving powers from what was it? The Dark Realm?
Yeah, not the Dark Arts, something like that. I forget what it's
The
called.
Dark Realm.
We all know, like, names of things.
Oh man,
my forte.
I totally forgot. From Dormammu himself. And he got jealous, I guess, and stole.
Well, you saw the hypocrisy of that.
Yeah,
obviously.
because she forbid it for everyone else.
Yeah, she was just using it to like keep herself alive eternally, and then, well, not eternally, but to keep herself alive, and then
Until yeah.
Like if I found that out, if I was studying under someone and they forbade me to do something that they were doing exactly, it's like, what do you think, I'm an idiot? I can't handle it too,
Yeah, that is a very.
But he obviously was abusing it.
Right, he was using it for the wrong reasons. He was clearly blinded by the ability to live forever.
I almost feel like too she might have found like a loophole in the way that she was using it that she couldn't explain to anyone.
Perhaps
her eyes weren't all crazy like and stuff. So it just makes me wonder, like, how was she using it? Did she have just so much self-control that she could use it at its
kind of like
most
Pangborn, he was able to show that he wasn't a cripple. Maybe she was able to show with her power that she wasn't corrupted.
Yeah, but he wasn't using the dark arts or whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just using regular.
That's true.
Magic. But...
Yeah. So yeah, he stole the spells and all that, and it was interesting.
Yeah, so I really I like him as an actor, and I just thought, like, even some of the scenes we get a little bit of dialogue, where there's a scene where Stephen Strange is holding that like cup thing.
He's like, do you even know what that does?
Yeah, he's like, do you even know how to use that or something like that? I don't know. I feel like even the part because they're very similar, and I think that's what the Ancient One's fear was,
right?
Because she didn't want to teach another pupil like him. However, when you got down to it, the difference between him and Stephen Strange was that Stephen Strange could see a flawed person, but still see the overall goal behind what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't just give up on her as soon as Strange found out that she was flawed.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting to me. I think because maybe he's such a crappy person too. He's like, yeah, I probably would have did the same thing. I don't know. He just understood that people have different reasons for doing things, and that doesn't change their whole purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting.
What did you think about the use of actually using Dormammu in the Dark Realm?
Oh my god, I love that. And that's one thing that's why I'm saying, like, this film is so different from a Marvel film, or like from a typical Marvel film, even in the way that Stephen Strange defeats, Dormammu. Like, usually, in Marvel films, you have this like overwhelming, powerful enemy, and it's like, oh, with mine and my friends' powers combined, we can defeat him.
We can beat this,
Yeah, we can beat this all together, and we all do our little part. Stephen Strange literally just trapped him in time.
Mm-hmm.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
And he did it completely independently. You know, and that was such a huge sacrifice on his part, because he didn't know how long he was going to be there. That could have lasted literally an eternity. We don't even know how long that actually lasted and how many times exactly, you know, he was killed.
Yeah.
And I just think using this person's weakness against them, you know, that they literally have no patience or grasp of, you know, how ridiculously tiresome time is. He knew that guy would get sick of it eventually, no matter how powerful you are, and he would concede. Fascinating. I loved it.
And we know that since his Eye of Agamotto, which was allowing him to warp time, the Infinity Stone was the Time Stone. If Thanos has it in Infinity War, he will not be able to use that same trick on Thanos. So that he'll be massively underpowered in the next couple films, if that's to be believed. Now, he's actually going to be showing up in Thor Ragnarok before the next Avengers film.
Which we did get a little hint to.
Yeah, which is great. The mid-credits scene with Thor, and he's talking about Loki and Odin being on Earth, and how Doctor Strange wants them out. I thought that was great. What else? The end credits scene basically set up the villain for a second Doctor Strange film, which will probably happen after Phase 3. So we probably won't see another, like, we won't see more of Baron Mordo for a little while, unfortunately.
Yeah, even though he sucks.
Yeah.
Again, talk about someone who sees one, you know, flaw in their sensei and just completely gives up, you know. Like, everything isn't a lie just because she lied to you. Just that one time. Like, you can't, I don't know.
Right,
It just shows, how good of a person Stephen Strange was at the end of the day. Because he had faith in, you know, his friend, the Ancient One. He viewed her as an equal, and that's why he was able to learn so quickly, because he didn't just view it as some weird mystic art. He really understood it. And then, too, he was willing to sacrifice himself in such a great way. Whereas that guy, it just shows, like how weak the characters of, or how weak that guy's character is. You know, if you're willing to just turn pure evil because of one little thing.
Right. So, favorite scene, Jen?
When Wong laughs.
Oh, the interplay between Wong and
oh my God.
Doctor Strange was fantastic. Wong was always one of my favorite characters in the comics.
Or when Wong is listening to Beyonce.
Perfect.
After he pretended not to know who she was.
Perfect. I loved it.
I loved Wong. He was the best.
What else? Okay, so
what about you?
The rewind time scene, that blew me away.
Yeah, that's true.
Because in most films, it's just like a 2 to 5 seconds like of rewind where everything gets fixed or whatever. This was like 2 to 5 minutes of that, and it was so well done. You could tell most of the budget went there. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, no, it was so cool. I loved it. Yeah.
All right,
really
guys.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for watching another episode of our 360 Vlogs on the Geek Boutique Show. I'm Jen. I'm Dakota.
I'm Jen.
And we'll see you later.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I'm Jen.